thank you for joining us. Welcome to Ahlan World webinars. This is Sabrina, marketing specialist. I'm glad to be with you today. So today we are diving into a very important and exciting topic, how Arabic is an effective tool to enhance your career opportunities. Arabic, as you know, is not just a language, it's a gateway to new career paths, business ventures, and opportunities across various industries. Whether you are looking to work in international trade, diplomacy, or simply expand your global reach, Arabic can open doors in ways you might not have imagined. In this webinar, we will explore how mastering Arabic can help you stand out in competitive job markets, build connection in the Middle East and beyond, and also leverage your skills to create more opportunities in fields like business, education, and international relations. So during the webinar, if you have any question, you can write it in the Q&A section. We will take pauses every 15 or 20 minutes and answer all of your questions together. But before we start our topic, I would like to know what is your main goal for learning Arabic. You will find now a question appear in your screens. Is it career advancement, cultural understanding, travel and living abroad, or other goal? You can write it in the comments. We have almost 50% of people career advancement. In the rest, cultural understanding. And we have also 18% other. So you can write your goal in the comments and we'll check it in our next post. Thank you everyone for answering the question. Now let me start our topic. I'm thrilled now to introduce our guest speaker today, Fabio Fata, a former Ahlan World student who has a remarkable success story. After achieving significant improvement in both modern standard Arabic and also Egyptian Arabic, Fabio's proficiency in the language has opened up new career opportunities. He is here to share how learning Arabic has shaped his journey from his time in Egypt to his current role as senior sales manager in Dubai. So please join me in welcoming Fabio Fata. Hello, Fabio. We are so happy to have you with us today. I'll give you the mic now to start.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. Thank you, Ahlan, for inviting me here. I would like to share a bit of my experience, hoping that this can inspire or give some good information to the people that are approaching Arabic right now. So without further ado, I can start my quick presentation and then you will have time to make questions. The topic of today is, of course, how Arabic can be an effective tool to enhance, to open up new opportunities. A bit of my background, who I am, what I'm doing here. So my educational background, I studied in Italy, in South America and in Spain, international economy and international affairs. So I didn't have a background in languages or in Arabic. Personal interests, I've been always focused on traveling, connecting to new cultures, understanding the people. So everything that is connected to people is interesting, and therefore cultures and languages are one of the biggest key to understand people. Career, I've been changing my job quite a lot. I think when I started to do this was not very common. Nowadays, it's more common that people will change their position every 2 or 3 years. So I was a bit of a pioneer on this. I'm currently working for a robotic company from Switzerland, and I manage the Middle East and also Southern Europe from Dubai. How my journey in Ahlan started. It's a very nice story for me. It's a very good memory. So I decided I wanted to learn a new language. I've been working in the private sector for quite a long before moving to Ahlan, and I understood that languages can be a hard skill that can give you a lot of opportunities. before Ahlan, I was speaking other languages, but without a clear language that will identify me or give me some big advantage. So I decided that Arabic could be the next challenge. In the same time, I wanted to take a gap year, explore new culture. So that's what brought me to study a new language. Challenges. So when you decide to learn a language, then you will start to think, okay, where is the best place to learn Arabic? Where should I go? You will find quite a lot of different opinions about that. I think we will talk a bit later on this topic, but Egypt turned to be one of the best places to learn Arabic, and I'm still convinced about that because the language is used. You will be forced to speak Arabic with people. It's a type of Arabic that is understood by everybody because of the number of people that talk it, and also because of the culture and cinema and TV. Language proficiency. I guess if you have already started to study Arabic, you know how challenging it is. So the word proficiency is a myth, is a utopia. But let's say I can work with it. I became I could consider myself fluent, but it took quite a lot of efforts. I studied roughly 3 years with full immersion. The first year I was not able to communicate, to speak with anybody, but then step by step things started to improve, and since then I still have to work quite a lot to keep the level, to expand my understanding of new dialects and try to be prepared to listen to new people. How it became my second home. So as I was mentioning, I didn't choose to study a language just for my career, but also to discover a new part of the world, a part that is full of arts, culture, the Middle East. So in this journey of learning Arabic, I also found a second home. You see here a picture of my friends. So most of them are Egyptian, except the blonde, tall guy over there. So now it's still a place that I like to visit. I go. I left Egypt in the beginning of pandemic, but since then I've been there once or twice per year. So it's a place where I feel home. My friends are always there, so I definitely recommend Egypt and Alexandria. Here we come to the first big questions that all the students will have, and I also had in the beginning. So what should you study? What should you study? Modern Standard Arabic or Fusha or Egyptian Arabic, Ammiya? That's a very hard topic, and also you will find different views on this. I can share my experience, of course. My first teacher was probably the one that affected in a positive way my learning journey. So Asme Abdul Jawed. So if I really want to thank her because she insisted quite a lot to not give up on the standard Arabic, which most of the people, including me, want to give up because it's tough, it's boring, it's not the language that you will speak outside. So people quickly drop it to jump on the Egyptian Arabic or the dialect to speak with the people in Egypt. And it's the same challenge everywhere you're going to study. So maybe you can study the Jordan dialect or the Moroccan dialect because you want to communicate. And my teacher insisted that I will not quit standard Arabic, and that I had enough time to do it because I was planning long term. I was planning to stay 2 or 3 years, and it turned out to be the best choice because if you learn only to speak, you will probably forget also very fast. If you have a solid basis beneath the speech, and this is Fusha, cannot be anything else. This would be very useful when you speak with other Arabs, when you want to learn a new dialect, you will still find that all these languages are connected, of course, to the standard Arabic. So my suggestions: don't give up Fusha, even if it's tiring, it's frustrating, but keep the hard job. How was my improvement? So talking about Ahlan, I had a lot of teachers, and they've always been very, very flexible in adapting the program to my needs, but also in the same time suggesting what was the best way to continue my journey. So I would like, I mentioned Asme, but I would like also to thank Mahasen, Hiba Fakri. Yeah, so these have been my teachers that have also guided me in my journey. The classes were very, very interactive, and I had the opportunity to discuss the topics that were useful for my journey. So business Arabic, business terms, finance, politics. I was always connected and focused on a modern Arabic for business, for talking to people, and in the same time to the business language. I didn't focus a lot on literatures, arts, poetry, so you can definitely adapt your classes according to your needs. And another big point of success of the school, in my opinion, was the activities, because it gave me the opportunity to mingle with other people, to meet locals that are, of course, the learning ground and the playground. After you study in school, you want to speak with people, so the activities are from different trips in Egypt to internal activities about the arts and culture, to simply events, dinners. They have played an important role, and that's also one of the reasons why I always come back to Ahlan. Yeah, Sabrina.
Okay, anyone have question in the previous part? If you want a question about how to start, Fabio can tell you according to his experience, or a break now if you have any question. We have anyone have studied with us before or not? You can share in the comments. Study Arabic in general. Okay, I have a question for you also. Have you ever traveled to an Arab country before? Maybe for just see the touristic places. I have a lot of people have traveled to an Arab country before. So, have you ever traveled to Egypt before? We have Valerio have attended a course with Ahlan Rabat before, so it's really good. Okay, we have a question. How the locals help you in your journey of Arabic?
Yeah, so you saw in some pictures. Let me show you. Probably there was one picture of well, a few of my best friends here, and most of them are locals. And I would say that they play a fundamental role, because once you go out of the school, you will need to practice, and the everyday language is complicated. So these four people in the picture really contributed to a lot to increase my level and my overall confidence. So try to connect with locals and try to to mingle with them and go out, because that's really very, very important for the journey. So they contributed a lot.
Thank you, Fabio. Okay, any other question? We have Suzanne come before to Ahlan Alexandria. So you may relate some of Fabio's experience. Valerio also traveled to Egypt before. Okay, we can continue now and answer the rest of questions in next post. Okay.
Good. So let's continue. So now we move to the part of the career. As I was mentioning, it was not really a career choice in the beginning to learn a new language and to go to Egypt, but it turned out to affect quite a lot in a positive way my career. What kind of opportunities Arabic can open in general. So you can find a lot of opportunities if you speak Arabic. So business and trade. The region of the world where I'm living currently, the Gulf, I'm in Dubai, is growing very fast. There are a lot of opportunities for people from Europe, from Asia, and from America. So all the countries of the Gulf, Emirates, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Oman, they offer a lot of opportunity, and I think they will become more and more a center of gravity for the business globally. So they are already very important, but they will grow more, in my opinion. So Arabic will definitely give you a big advantage if you are fluent. Diplomacy in international relations, the overall attention and the political context connecting the West and the East, definitely learning Arabic, which is an official language of the United Nations, will give you a lot of opportunities. Media and communications, still connected to this part of the world, but also Egypt is expected to grow quite a lot, and North Africa. There are a lot of opportunities to create content, to translate. Even in the entertainment part, there is a big push from the Gulf to become a provider of a lot of content. So you can find a lot of opportunities. Sales and marketing, not only in the Gulf, but also in Europe, you will find a lot of, let's say, stakeholders from the Middle East, especially the Gulf, that they want to invest, they want to purchase estates, they want to be involved in finance, so, or simply shops. Learning Arabic can be very useful because a certain type of customers, which is very high level, need and wants to be spoken in Arabic. So if you have this skill, you can definitely find a lot of opportunities in the Middle East or even in Europe and in US. Tourism and hospitality. In this case, of course, North Africa, Egypt, they lead the way, and with the Red Sea, with the Mediterranean coast, the Atlantic coast of North Africa, but also the Gulf is building quite a lot of resorts. So people typically say that if you want the best reef in the world, which is not very far, Egypt is the perfect place, right? Because you can really, in a few hours, go there instead of going to the other side of the world, Maldives and so on. So a lot of opportunities, and speaking Arabic will help you to grow and to become maybe team manager or get more opportunities. Even if you don't reach the fluency level to really negotiate, to really attend customers in Arabic, I think even a small to medium experiences, like let's say 3 to 6 months, can help you develop some cultural competence and understand how the Middle East works, what people think, what are their habits, even their business etiquette. So it will still be a benefit if you're not fluent, but to have this kind of background, you can really create and strengthen relationships with the local people. Okay, so for example, here I remember I recently met in Dubai here one of my colleagues who studied Arabic with me. He didn't have the time to really spend years, so of course he was not super fluent, but nonetheless he became a manager, a sales manager for this part of the world, just because he understands the culture. He was able to connect with people. Then business negotiations were happening in English, but the cultural skills that he had was very effective, and we are trying to create a network of all the people that study Arabic and somehow and are involved in business or other kind of connections with the Middle East. And of course, I can remember many connections that I had since I was speaking Arabic. People they trusted me more. Sometimes they didn't understand who I was. I mean, it seems like you're Italian, but you speak Egyptian, but you live in the Gulf. So I like to play a bit with the mystery, so they don't understand, but they feel that I'm closer, and they invite me in their homes, or it's common also in business to have these, and even in different dialects, after maybe few hours, few days, that you will probably hesitate because it's very challenging. After a while, you will relax and you will understand that you can communicate in a functional Arabic, and you can really connect with your stakeholders. Another field is, of course, translation and interpretation. So all these countries that I mentioned in the Gulf, but also in the Middle East, in general, they need the official language is Arabic. So a lot of documents need to be translated. A lot of people needs translation during business events, during political events. So also in this sector, you will find a lot of opportunities. Maybe just a competitive advantage. In my career, I felt that there are some skills that people can learn very fast, right? So I have quite a lot of experience in the sales business, so 15 to 20 years, let's say. I don't look old, but I'm old. There are some skills, maybe some people that they join a new company, they can quickly close the gap with you because some skills do not need a lot of time to be learned. So selling something doesn't take a lot of time. So it's very important to focus on what gives you a competitive advantage and what's called hard skills. Let's say it could be a technical skill, language, which is a technical skill, because learning Arabic, for example, gave me a gap that set me apart. So I was recently in one big event with the Swiss ambassador in Saudi Arabia. The company I work for is Swiss, so I represent this company. And all the Middle Eastern, the salespeople managing Middle East, so the same people that they do my job, my counterparts, were invited to this event, and there was nobody that was not a native except me. So this means that if you can reach a good level, there is a lot of space to grow. I'm a strong believer that the Gulf is going to lead the way in many different industries, but also Egypt is expected to reach the top 10 or the top 15 economies by 2030. So there is a lot of growth in the Middle East, and the language is already in high demand now, and you will not find a lot of non-native speakers, which is important to connect, let's say, two different stakeholders or two different parts of the world. But I'm sure it's gonna, it's already in demand now, but it's gonna grow very fast. And it can quickly also change your career. So in this picture, the company I work for sells drones, drones for civil application, not military. You see there the drone in the picture. And this is one of my business meeting here in Egypt. Sorry, there in Egypt. I'm in Dubai now. But I didn't expect me to manage this part of the world. But just by learning this skill, I could really swap my career, take a new path in my career, and without really a lot of without expecting this. So I managed for many years of my life the South America part of the business, and in 2 or 3 years of hard work, I could really reshape my career, and now I'm developing a career as a Middle Eastern specialist or manager. So if you're looking for a career change, this can give you really a big advantage and a lot of opportunities. It doesn't come easy, so you need to work hard for a few years, but it can really change a lot your career path. And in my case, I changed from managing the South America to managing Middle East. It gives me, let's say, a new set of skills, not only for the language, but also the cultural part that comes with the language. So even a different approach to the business that was very useful in connecting the stakeholders that I have maybe in this part of the world in the Gulf with my company in Switzerland. That of course they have a different approach, and in Switzerland they are very precise, and time is very important. In the Middle East they have a different approach. So to have not only the language skills but also the cultural skills to be a bridge, a broker between two worlds is very important. And it gave me the possibility to grow professionally in terms of career, because it's a skill that cannot easily replaced. Now my, let's say, language set is kind of unique. I have other European languages, but with Arabic, it makes my skill set unique, and it protects me also from competition from other people, because they don't find a lot of people with the same mix. Maybe a quick story. In my interview of my last job, this company specifically wanted somebody speaking Italian, Arabic, and French, and they were struggling a bit to find the three languages. They were finding either Moroccan descent people living in France, which they speak perfect Arabic and perfect French, but not Italian, or Egyptians born Italians who speak perfect Arabic and perfect Italian, but they didn't find the three language except me. So that's what I'm saying about having some kind of unique skill set. Yeah, Sabrina, the ball is with you.
Thanks, Fabio, for sharing your story. We have a question here. Could you please answer this question? In how many countries is Arabic an official or widely spoken language? So I'm waiting your answers.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Wikipedia or a Google, so I really don't know the number of the countries, but let's say many countries. I think all the Gulf region is official language. So Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Oman, Kuwait. Then there is the other region, which is the Levantine. So Lebanon, Jordan, Palestine, Syria.
It's around 22 countries. We have a lot of attendees answered this question. Yes. So it's really a wide language. So it's really important.
Yeah, and maybe I can share a story about this, which is not only in how many countries official, but it's the English of a part of the world. So in one of my volunteering experience in Italy, in this case in Milan, I was working, I was doing a volunteer for an organization that was hosting refugees coming from different countries. And many of these refugees were coming from different countries where they don't speak Arabic, like Central Africa, but Arabic was the language that they used to know to communicate, to have a very basic communication, just because during their journey, their very hard journey, they had to pass from Arabic countries. And at that time, I really understood that the potential of this language, because I was speaking English and French, but nobody of these countries, Eritrea, Somalia, which are not officially, let's say, speaking Arabic, but it became a kind of vehicular language, just like the English for non-native. So it's really open a part of the world, including the Asian part of where the religion of Islam is spread. So it's also a good connection.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, we have a question. For professional purposes, how important is learning modern standard Arabic or dialects?
MSA is the basics, so you really need to master MSA. You will probably not speak MSA, but you will end up speaking some kind of dialect, but it's very important that you study both. If you have only few time, choose the standard Arabic, but the whole journey is not complete if you probably don't study both, in my opinion.
Great. What is the most effective strategy you have found for mastering Arabic grammar and memorize the difficult vocabulary?
Yeah, here again, I come to my first teacher, Asme. I think the way that people study Arabic in Europe and in America is different than the way the Arabs study Arabic. So the way I studied it was very, very useful, because I studied the roots of the word, so the letters of the word. So once I know the 3 or 4 letters that they make up the words, it's very easy to memorize, because maybe I see the word in different shapes, but the letters are still the same, so I can really guess the meaning. So I would suggest follow the Arab ways, not to study the language, because it's more effective, in my opinion, was more useful to memorize.
Great. What is the rate of teaching and learning the Arabic language in non-Arabic countries? Is it important compared to other languages, and will the rate increase from your personal opinion?
The Arabic language in non-Arab countries. So I would say no, there is still not a high rate of teaching Arabic in non-Arab countries. That's exactly why it's an opportunity, because it will make you different. It will make you special. It will open a lot of people, a lot of opportunities. So let's say maybe in the big cities in Europe now you will find some courses, but it's still not spread as English, Spanish, French, which is exactly why, in my opinion, it's a big advantage. And the earlier you will take the journey, and you will be on the forefront.
Okay. We have another question. It is a common understanding that if you want to work in the Gulf region, English is enough. Can you give us any example of how Arabic can make a difference?
Yes. So first of all, we have to split a bit the Gulf region. Let's say Dubai is an exception. The rest of the Gulf, like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, I agree. So English is enough to work, but exactly because not so many people, not so many foreigners speak Arabic, you can get a lot of more opportunities, higher salaries if you are the minority who can speak Arabic. So it depends really if you want to excel and to reach higher levels. Arabic will give you more opportunities. An example is you will end up speaking with governmental company. They will appreciate if you speak the language. Even if English is official language, you will find a lot of things written in Arabic. So if you can read and write, it's a big advantage. So I agree, English is enough. Arabic gives you a plus, a big plus.
Okay, the next question. Looking back on your Arabic journey, what was the most complicated part of it?
I think at the beginning is definitely the most complicated, because you will study, and maybe you go out and you still feel frustrated that all that you're doing is not giving you results. So it's really like an iceberg. So you really need to work hard before a piece of what you're doing is going to go out of the water. And the beginning is the hardest part, and it's also where most of the people give up. And you need, of course, quite some time to complete the journey.
How did you encourage yourself when the learning journey became hard?
Sorry, how do you encourage them when the journey becomes hard? So I believe from the beginning, if you want to reach the goal, you have to plan for a long time. You have to have 1 year or more, in my opinion, to dedicate on this to really become proficient. It doesn't work very well to go on and off, like 3 months and then break and then 3 months, because it's very, very hard to learn, very easy to forget. So the encouragement I can give is possible. There are a lot of people that they do it, not only me. So if you plan with the proper way, you will do it as well. It's possible for everybody.
Okay. We have also another question. If I live in Italy and I dream to work in the Gulf or in Egypt, how can they trust me and hire me from here if I send my application from here?
Well, I would say in the Gulf now it's very common. It's very, according to your skills, it's normal that people hire people from Europe. So you can find a job from Italy if you want to move to Dubai. It depends on your skills, but this part, Dubai, let's say the Emirates, is very, very open to European immigration. The other countries in the Gulf are more complicated. Maybe you need a company to send you in Saudi Arabia or Qatar. Egypt, Egypt at the moment it still doesn't offer a lot of work opportunities, but maybe you can find, depending what you're interested in. There is a lot of work in tourism in the Red Sea, so you can try, but you have more chances of finding jobs in the Gulf than in Egypt, but everything is possible.
Thank you, Fabio, for your answers. And now you can continue, and we answer the rest of the question in our next break. Okay?
Good. Yes. So now we go a bit on my personal journey, my personal experience in Egypt. So I chose Alexandria. Why Egypt? This was a rational choice. So I started to ask people that they know Arabic, people that they teach Arabic, what's the best place to learn Arabic, and I realized that for many years, Syria and Damascus was really one of the center where all the foreigners, all the Westerners were going to really master the good Arabic, the clean Fusha. But of course, in the time where I started to learn Arabic, Syria was not an option. So the opportunities were mainly North Africa, Levantine, so maybe Beirut, maybe Lebanon, or Jordan, Egypt. And I started to make really a comparison with the pros and cons of these places in terms of the Arabic journey. And in North Africa or in Lebanon, you will easily sleep speaking Arabic because everybody speaks French. And if you speak a bit of French, or even if you don't speak, you will end up communicating in French because you always have a way out. While in Egypt, sometimes you don't have a way out. So you really have to try your best. And that's the best way to learn, in my opinion, trial by fire. So that brought me to Egypt. Also because, as I mentioned, there are roughly 400 million Arabs, so native speakers of Arabic, and 100 is Egyptian. So 1 out of 4 is Egyptian, and more or less, I don't know the updated numbers, but it's very common that even here in the Gulf, if I find an Arab speaker, it's either 90% is Egyptian, or maybe it's Lebanese, or very rarely I speak with the locals, except maybe Saudi Arabia, where there is a bigger number of natives, of locals. So yeah, also for the influence of the movies and the cinema, the Egyptian dialect is well understood. So that's why I chose Egypt. And Alexandria, there were different choices in Ahlan. There was Luxor, Cairo, Alexandria, but I love the Mediterranean Sea. I love the sea, and Alexandria was my choice without a doubt. Cultural experience. Here you see again one of my friends. It's really, really important also, I think, to master a language, you really have to also to get into the culture. So thanks to my friends, I had the opportunity to share some experiences, even to work with them in the pharmacy or in the cleaning products shop that you see here in the picture. So the way people work really made me understand a lot about the culture, and everything is low, everything is social. You speak with everybody, you drink a tea with everybody. So the cultural experience were really amazing. Egypt treats foreigners very well. They're very welcoming. They're very they're very warm. So there are, of course, some pros and cons in all the countries, and I will let you find the cons by yourself because it's part of the experience. But it's important that you really live the experience to understand. And the atmosphere of Alexandria is amazing. A very, very long sea road with a lot of cafes on the sea. People are out all the time, so the weather is good, so you really stay. The places where you learn Arabic is really maybe in the cafes, talking with your friends and connecting with people. So the atmosphere, especially of Alexandria, is amazing. Friendships. I started in the first 2-3 months. I was going out with foreigners from the school. Then step by step, I found my local friends. Most of the foreigners were coming and going, so it was hard for me to keep stable friendships because 2-3 months and maybe other people were leaving. Once I found those group of friends, so Shilla, as they say in Egyptian Arabic, 4 or 5, they are really my close friends, and they have contributed in so many ways. So in learning the culture, in learning the pitfalls, in learning the language. So they're also the people that I meet every time that I go there. I still meet there, and they really become a family. And you will find that in Egypt, friendships are stronger than in other places. People are still very, very connected with the friends. They do things without expecting something in return. So again, there are pros and cons, but friendship was definitely a good point about Egypt. Places I visited, Egypt is very big. Touristically speaking, you can find everything. You can start from the east, close to Libya, with a not very known oasis from outside. I mean, before I was in Egypt, I didn't know this place, which was Siwa, with amazing oasis and deserts and dunes, exactly the way you would expect. Untouched, without airports, so it's really still authentic with very ancient cultures living there. And then there is, of course, the axis of the Nile, starting from the delta, but including also Alexandria. You go from the standard Hellenic, pharaonic touristy place. So you go from Alexandria, the Biblioteca, the pyramids, the Luxor, the Valley of the Kings, Aswan, Abu Simbel. So that's really the most traditional tourist road, and it's amazing. You can do it by cruise, you can do it by train, and then on the east side, the east side, there is the Red Sea. So the very famous places like Sharm el Sheikh and Gharda'a, but there is also other less famous places to discover like Dahab, Noiba, all that part, Safega, Marsa Alam. So a lot of typical Red Sea resorts. So it's really, really amazing. Yeah, any questions?
Okay, I have a question to our attendees. What is the place you want to visit in Egypt? You have visited before. Yeah, a lot of people want to visit Siwa. You have been to Siwa before, Fabio?
Yes, I've been to Siwa, but as I was mentioning, I didn't know that Siwa exists before moving to Egypt. It's not, in my opinion, very famous outside. So it's
Exactly. Yeah. Most of Europeans knows the Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, all of the famous stuff, but there is
yeah.
a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question. What was your biggest challenge in Egypt?
Well, I think on a cultural level, on a social level, you will find out a different system of values, a different a different country, and even if it's very close, I was always considering that Alexandria is not very far from the south of Italy or from the south of Europe. The nature and the fruit are kind of similar. I think there is definitely a cultural shock, even for experienced people that maybe they've traveled a lot. So the first impact with the Arab world could be a bit complicated, but that's exactly there that you will learn your skills and understand how to deal with the different cultural traits. And so I would say the biggest challenge is in the beginning to understand, to discover these cultures, and to find a way to connect yourself with this culture without, let's say, changing the nature of who you are and your identity.
You have another question. It's a little bit closer to the previous one. How will you overcome the challenges of cultural diversity?
That's connected to the previous topic. So I would say Egypt, especially big cities like Alexandria and Cairo, you can find every kind of subcultures that you want, cultural diversity. So there is space for you to find the people that you will feel more comfortable with. So not everything is fast. So you will probably not find everything online, or information is not very clear. But step by step, you can find the places to connect with the people that you want, and finding the cultural groups that you are more close to. So don't give up, ask, try to navigate, and in big cities you can overcome easily the cultural diversity.
Thanks. Anyone have any other questions? Okay, I will ask you until people ask other question. I want to know what is the best place you have visited in Egypt and your best memory also.
So the best place, of course, it will still remain Alexandria, even if it's, of course, visually the places that are more beautiful, the Dahab and Siwa, of course, are more beautiful, but Alexandria is still kind of paradise for me. So I can only say Alexandria. And the best memories, I think, are the experiences that I lived with my friends that are always there. So we had a lot of, let's say, experiences together. And maybe the best is the one that is in the picture. So a very, very good New Year's party after COVID all together. It felt like I have a family there. So it's in the picture that was in the beginning of my presentation.
Yeah, great. So we have still have time. Could you give people advice who have just started to learn Arabic or want to learn Arabic but they are a little bit afraid? So give them advice according to your experience.
Yeah, so the suggestion is don't give up. The hard work will pay off. Study the standard Arabic. Don't drop it. You will need to master it to be proficient. But yeah, keep accumulating work and hours, and sooner or later you will start to realize that, oh, I'm speaking and you don't know, like, but don't be too much obsessed with the results, because still, even if you are proficient, sometimes you will find a lot of challenges. Like I was using this image, this metaphor with my friend Peter, which was there in the picture. Arabic is like working on the rope in the circus, like when you are trained, you can do it all the rope, but there is always one day that you are not with the right concentration and you easily fall. So it still happens right now. I mean, I work with Arabic, but still there is some day, maybe I open the TV, I don't understand anything. I found a new speaker in front of me that maybe is from different part of Saudi Arabia. I don't understand anything. So I keep studying and I keep improving, and step by step, the gap is increasing with between other people. So don't give up and keep studying hard. That's the only way, unfortunately.
Great. And also, I have another question. I know that you speak more than language. So, what is the difference in the concept between languages like Italian or French or English and Arabic? So, when you started to learn Arabic, what is you found different?
Yeah. So the other languages, in my case, they have been very, very easy because they are very similar to my native language. So even German, it's not the structure. I mean, the letters are the same. The grammar could make sense, to an European mind. I would say Arabic is not so scary, in my opinion, from the grammar. It's more scary for the diversity of the way people speak. So understanding is more complicated than reading or writing or speaking. So it was a totally different experience, and I spent more time learning Arabic than all the other languages together. So it's a totally different way, and yeah, maybe the only thing that I could bring from the other languages is that that's my way of learning languages. That if you master the grammar, if you master the structure, it's future proof. So it means you can really have some solid basics that will remain forever. Yeah. So that was the only thing that I always put attention. Okay, I have to study the grammar before I focus on speaking, because people too many times they want to jump to speaking and to repeat some sentencing, but without understanding how the sentence is done.
Yeah, the basics always the more important. Okay, one of our attendees are saying, can we listen a bit of your Arabic if you don't mind?
خلاص ماشي.
You can give them the advice in Arabic.
تمام، ممكن نتكلم شوية بالعربي يا صابرينا لو انت عايزة.
يلا بينا.
اسأليني حاجة وانا برد بالعربي.
اوكي، ممكن تقول لهم نصيحة ازاي يبدأوا بالعربي، وقول لهم يعني شوية بالمصري وشوية بالفصحى.
النصيحة بس النصيحة الوحيدة إن حد لازم يتكلم، لازم يذاكر كتير. يعني مفيش طريقة أخرى للأسف، عشان في ناس بتدور على طريقة سريعة ومفيش، يعني للأسف. أنا درست تقريبا 2000 ساعة في أحلم، وبعدين أخذت كمان حصص أونلاين، وبشتغل كل يوم دلوقتي باللغة العربية، ولسه مش متقن 100% في اللغة العربية. عشان كده لازم الحد يتراكم حصص كتير ودراسة كتير، وواحدة واحدة هيتعلم.
We have okay, from one of Ahlan staff. On behalf of Ahlan staff, we want to thank you to be part of our family and for all what we have shared together. And we have just a little question on the personal level. What Ahlan community added to you? It's a question from Amira.
Yes. Hello, Amira. Yeah, Ahlan community it's like a second family for me. So you see me always coming back every summer, every winter. So every time I land, I go to Ahlan first. So it's like a house, and it gave me, let's say, a second, a safe place and a house that I can always go to. So it's not very common to have these places in countries that are not yours. So I can say a second home. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Fabio. You really inspired me today, as you always do, and thank you for sharing your experience with us today. Thank you everyone also for joining. If you have any question before finishing our webinar, you can write it now. We have like 2 minutes. So if you have any other question. I think there is no questions. Thank you. Thank you very much, Fabio. Hope we see you again in our upcoming webinars in different topics. You have added a lot today to us. Thank you everyone for joining us today. After the webinar, you will be directed to a feedback form. So kindly give us your feedback. Your opinion really matters. And also the record of the webinar will be available soon on our website and also on YouTube. I was so happy being with you today, and we will meet again soon in our upcoming online activities. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Fabio, and see you soon.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, Ahlan. And yeah, everybody can find me easily on LinkedIn if they want, and I will be happy to answer more questions. Thank you, everybody.